The CogAT assesses which of the following cognitive abilities? A. Linguistic proficiency. B. Mathematical skills. C. Critical thinking. D. Verbal, quantitative, and nonverbal reasoning. In which age range is the CogAT typically administered? A. Adolescence, ages 13 to 18. B. Early childhood, ages 3 to 6. C. Middle childhood, ages 7 to 10. D. Adults, ages 18 and above. Which of the following is not a section of the CogAT? A. Verbal. B. Quantitative. C. Spatial. D. Emotional intelligence. What is the purpose of the CogAT? A. To assess emotional intelligence. B. To evaluate academic achievement. C. To identify students' cognitive strengths and weaknesses. D. To measure physical fitness. The verbal section of the CogAT assesses which skills? A. Vocabulary, reading comprehension, and verbal reasoning. B. Arithmetic, number series, and mathematical reasoning. C. Pattern recognition, spatial visualization, and mental rotation. D. Logical reasoning, deduction, and inference. Which age group does the CogAT Level 5 typically target? A. Grades K1. B. Grades 2 to 3. C. Grades 4 to 5. D. Grades 6 to 8. The quantitative section of the CogAT assesses which skills? A. Vocabulary and reading comprehension. B. Arithmetic, number series, and mathematical reasoning. C. Pattern recognition and spatial visualization. D. Logical reasoning and deduction. What is the purpose of the CogAT screening form? A. To provide a comprehensive assessment of cognitive abilities. B. To identify students who may benefit from further testing or educational interventions. C. To measure academic achievement in specific subjects. Which section of the CogAT assesses a student's ability to identify and complete patterns? A. Verbal. B. Quantitative. C. Nonverbal. D. Abstract. What is the primary focus of the CogAT screener? A. Providing a comprehensive assessment of cognitive abilities. B. Identifying students who may require special education services. C. Evaluating students' physical fitness levels. What does the CogAT profile score indicate? A. Overall academic achievement. B. Cognitive strengths and weaknesses compared to age peers. C. Emotional intelligence quotient. D. Physical fitness level. How is the CogAT typically administered? A. Through online gaming platforms. B. Individually or in small groups by a trained proctor. C. through written essays. D. As part of physical education classes. Which of the following is not a cognitive domain assessed by the CogAT? A. Verbal. B. Quantitative. C. Emotional. D. Nonverbal. The CogAT is often used in conjunction with other assessments to A. Determine students' athletic abilities. B. Identify students with learning disabilities. C. Assess students' musical talents. D. Evaluate students' artistic skills. The CogAT is normed based on a sample of A. Students who have achieved academic excellence. B. Students who have been identified as having learning disabilities. C. Students from various demographic backgrounds. D. Adults who have completed higher education. Which section of the CogAT assesses a student's ability to recognize relationships and solve problems using numbers and mathematical concepts? A. Verbal. B. Quantitative. C. Nonverbal. D. Abstract. How are CogAT scores typically reported? A. As a single composite score. B. As separate scores for each cognitive domain. C. As a pass-fail result. D. As a percentile rank compared to other students. Which of the following is not a cognitive skill assessed by the CogAT verbal battery? A. Vocabulary. B. Comprehension. C. Mathematical reasoning. D. Verbal analogies. In which grade levels is the CogAT often used for screening purposes? A. Kindergarten and grade 1. B. Grades 6 to 8. C. High school grades. D. College level. The CogAT provides scores in which of the following cognitive areas? A. Emotional intelligence. B. Physical coordination. C. Verbal, quantitative, and nonverbal reasoning. D. Artistic creativity. Which of the following is an example of a question that may appear in the CogAT nonverbal battery? A. Solving mathematical equations. B. Identifying synonyms. C. Completing number patterns. D. Answering comprehension questions. What is the primary purpose of using the CogAT in educational settings? A. To rank students based on academic achievement. B. To identify students who may need extra help in specific subjects. C. To determine eligibility for special education services. The CogAT is often administered as part of the identification process for which group of students? A. Athletes. B. Gifted and talented. C. Students with physical disabilities. D. Students with behavioral issues. What is the primary benefit of using the CogAT in conjunction with other assessment tools? A. To increase test-taking skills. B. To provide a comprehensive picture of a student's abilities. C. To measure physical fitness. D. To assess artistic talents. Which section of the CogAT assesses a student's ability to recognize spatial relationships and visualize transformations? A. Verbal. B. Quantitative. C. Nonverbal. D. Abstract. What is the primary reason for administering the CogAT? A. To assess physical health. B. To identify cognitive strengths and weaknesses. C. To measure emotional intelligence. D. To evaluate artistic abilities. Which of the following best describes the purpose of the CogAT Form 7? A. To evaluate fine motor skills. B. To measure athletic ability. C. To identify students' cognitive abilities. D. To assess musical talents. The CogAT is designed to be A. A timed test. B. An open book test. C. Administered without time constraints. D. Administered orally. Which of the following is not a recommended use of CogAT scores? A. To compare students' scores across different grade levels. B. To inform instructional planning and differentiation. C. To make high-stakes decisions about students' educational placement. Which cognitive domain does the CogAT abstract battery primarily assess? A. Verbal reasoning. B. Quantitative reasoning. C. Nonverbal reasoning. D. Emotional intelligence. What is the primary focus of the CogAT screener? A. Providing a comprehensive assessment of cognitive abilities. B. Identifying students who may require special education services. C. Evaluating students' physical fitness levels. Which age group is typically targeted by the CogAT Level 8? A. Early childhood, ages 3 to 6. B. Middle childhood, ages 7 to 10. C. Adolescents, ages 11 to 14. D. Adults, ages 18 and above. The CogAT assesses cognitive abilities that are believed to be A. Fixed and unchangeable. B. Influenced by cultural background. C. Solely determined by genetics. D. Developable and subject to change over time. Which section of the CogAT assesses a student's understanding of language patterns, relationships, and analogies? A. Verbal. B. Quantitative. C. Nonverbal. The CogAT is often used as part of the identification process for A. Students with perfect attendance records. B. Students with behavioral issues. C. gifted and talented programs. D. Students receiving English as a second language (ESL). The CogAT provides scores in which of the following cognitive areas? A. Physical fitness and coordination. B. Mathematical proficiency. C. Verbal, quantitative, and nonverbal reasoning. D. Musical aptitude. How does the CogAT screening form differ from the full version of the CogAT? A. It assesses fewer cognitive domains. B. It is administered orally instead of in written form. C. It requires more time to complete. D. It is only available to students with learning disabilities. The CogAT is designed to A. Measure academic achievement in specific subjects. B. Predict future career success. C. Identify students' cognitive strengths and weaknesses. D. Determine students' personality traits. What is the primary purpose of the CogAT Form 6? A. To evaluate physical health and fitness. B. To measure artistic abilities. C. To assess cognitive abilities. D. To identify students' musical talents. Which section of the CogAT assesses a student's ability to recognize numerical patterns and solve quantitative problems? A. Verbal. B. Quantitative. C. Nonverbal. The CogAT is administered to A. Individuals of all ages. B. Only elementary school students. C. Only high school students. D. Specific age groups based on developmental stages. The CogAT verbal battery assesses a student's ability to A. Solve mathematical problems. B. Recognize spatial relationships. C. Understand language patterns and relationships. D. Identify patterns in abstract designs. What is the primary benefit of using the CogAT as a screening tool? A. Identifying students who may require additional academic support. B. Providing a comprehensive assessment of students' personality traits. The CogAT is normed based on a representative sample of A. Students from rural areas only. B. Students from urban areas only. C. Students from diverse demographic backgrounds. D. Students with learning disabilities only. How does the CogAT differ from traditional achievement tests? A. It assesses students' academic knowledge and skills. B. It measures cognitive abilities rather than specific content knowledge. C. It evaluates students' physical fitness levels. Which section of the CogAT assesses a student's ability to identify similarities and differences between objects? A. Verbal. B. Quantitative. C. Nonverbal. D. Abstract. The primary purpose of the CogAT is to A. Determine students' academic grades. B. Identify students' cognitive strengths and weaknesses. C. Assess students' physical coordination. D. Measure students' emotional intelligence. The CogAT is most commonly used for A. Making high-stakes decisions about students' educational placement. B. Assessing students' physical health and fitness. C. Identifying students who may benefit from enrichment programs or additional support. The CogAT is designed to be A. A one-time assessment. B. Administered without any time constraints. C. A timed test. D. Completed by parents at home.